Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. This is our Profitable Interior Designer broadcast every Thursday. I am Nancy Quinn, business coach and body language trainer to interior designers, and I am here with my associate coach, Lesley Myrick. Good morning, Lesley.
Good morning. Nancy, you threw me when you said happy. I thought you were going to say Happy New Year. And I was thinking, it's February, woman, but that's just my brain. So, hi, good morning. It's February.
It's one of those mornings, I know. And so everyone knows we are already having some tech issues. So if our mouths don't match our words or it's a little delayed, please put up with it. We don't know why it's happening. I do know it's raining quite hard here in Florida, which is,
and the
we're
weather's
in a
not
drought,
so hot here in Georgia either. So,
okay. All right. So tell everybody what we're talking about today. And I think we have a blog that came out about this as well.
We might have. It's like we planned that kind of thing. So we are talking about scope creep. And I love talking about scope creep because I think in general, designers have a very negative perception when clients keep asking for one more thing, or can you add this, or can you do this? And I think our first reaction is, like, that's not part of it. That's, you're trying to, get more out of me. This is manipulative. No, they love you and they want more of you. That's a wonderful thing. So they are usually not expecting this to be free. You've got to let that go. When a client asks you for more work, more deliverables, you charge them for it and everybody wins. They get more of you, they get the outcome you want, and you get compensated for your time and expertise.
You just brought up what's happening to people in our society as a whole in a beautiful example. We assume the negative every time somebody speaks, and it's ridiculous. It's actually something that's driving me crazy. So your clients, like Lesley said, are allowed to ask for more. That means they're happy. That means they're like excited. Like, oh, while you're here, can you also look in the living room, which I didn't want you to do before, but I'm thinking, we could use something, right? They're excited. They want to work with you more. So we know that it messes up your timeline that you decided and how many hours you're working on that client for how long. But scope creep is when somebody asks you to do more that is over and above what your contract said. So instead of getting agitated over it, thinking they're trying to get away with something, which sometimes they are. We get it.
And that's a good point. Sometimes they are, and you will get pushback. I don't want to be completely naive to that, but
don't assume that old saying, you know what it is, right? Don't assume that they're just expecting you to do it without any more money, right? It's a very simple problem or obstacle to address. It may not always go the way you like, but it is a simple problem to address. So Lesley, tell them tip number one.
You got it. Tip number one is to establish clear boundaries and a written scope before projects begin, especially if you are following our pricing method, the key, and you are charging a flat fee for design, variable hourly for project management. You've got to get that scope nailed down so you know exactly what your fee covers and what it doesn't.
Exactly. We always say the same thing. Transparency is how much is it going to cost your client for you to do what within what time frame? And now they come along and they say, we want more. So your established boundaries were clear in the beginning. You have a written scope in your contract. And we make sure the scope is at the end of our contract. So you don't have to change every word in the middle of your contract, which is a pain in the neck. But you can just respond. Don't over exaggerate and get dramatic about this request. Just respond accurately as to what you need to do it for the client. So something like, yes, let me go back to my office. I will see how many hours I think that's going to take, and I will provide you with a proposal for these added details that you want me to address, right? This added work. So again, it's not hard. There's so many ways you can say that sentence. Like, oh, great. You want me to go into the living room now? All right, let me go back to my office, list out everything you want me to do, and I'll get back to you with a proposal on what that's going to take, how long, how much, and by when I can get that done. All the same things that you decided when you first did your contract. So don't get flustered. And if it's something you cannot handle right now because you are just cannot handle any more for any one client because you're at your max, what you would say is, I can absolutely do that for you. We may have to put that off till June because my workload is full right now, right? If that's the case, then that's the case. So there's ways of handling this. We don't want you to get upset. We don't want you to assume the client doesn't think you're going to get paid for it. Assume the positive.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. So tip number 3.
Tip number 3 comes back to paperwork. You need to rely on your contract as the calm, neutral backup if emotions run high.
Exactly. Now, I really do not advise our interior design clients to ever say, well, according to my contract.
Yeah.
I hate when people say that, right? Your contract is backing you up, but your communication should be verbal and in sentences to your client's ear, not hidden behind an email or a contract.
Yeah.
Right. So even when you're going over your contract, you're going over it with them over the phone or over Zoom or in person. So they understand all the criteria. They may not remember everything, but in the back of their heads, when they're getting ready to say something, they may say, you know what, I remember her going over something or him going over something in the contract. Let's go back and check. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you can rely on your contract as a calm, neutral backup, but your words should rarely be, according to my contract, da, 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 da. That feels.
Well, you signed the contract does not land well.
Went over this. We went over this, and now that's our indoor voice. We say that to each other when we're complaining. We get it, but to your client it's a very simple. I want to remind you of the following, right? And this is how I operate. These are my policies and procedures. You have examples all the time of people trying to push the boundaries, scope creep, trying to get you to do more, right? Anything coming to mind as we're talking about boundaries, something that successfully worked for you?
That's a really good question. I have found, for me, the scope creep weirdly often happens in the implementation phase. Like, for example, I did a project where it was an open living and dining room. We obviously took care of the architecture, the finishes for the whole space, but only furnished the living room because he wanted to hold on to his dining room furniture, which was okay. And of course, as the room started to come together, as he saw the renderings, as the painting was happening, as the scaffolding was installed to hang this beautiful chandelier, he went, I think, can we get new dining room furniture too? And that was an easy, absolutely, I'd be happy to do that. At this point, we are working hourly anyway, so I will just roll that into hourly. I just want you to be aware that our hours estimate was based on the original scope. This will mean your hours for this phase will increase. And he's like, sure, of course. And it was clean and simple. I didn't hide it. I didn't like pretend I wasn't billing for it. Just let him know this is going to be, and I didn't even give him a specific number. Just absolutely, we can roll this in. Just understand that your total hours for this phase will be likely above what I had originally estimated. As long as you are clear, and this ties back to like every money conversation, talk about money early and often. Just say it, get their buy-in or their no early, and then you can move forward. But do not do this extra work and send your client an invoice without letting them know that it was going to be an additional investment for them. I've seen designers do that, and then the client gets upset because they feel like they were sort of tricked, and then the designer doesn't get paid and it's resentful.
Yes.
Talk about money early and often. Know what you are proposing to the client. Just say it straight out. Be neutral. Let them decide. If they're like, oh, you know what? No, I wasn't thinking that was going to be extra. Let's hold off. And then you know your answer. But you cannot go into this blind, naively hoping they will pay you in arrears.
You just created a new term in my head without you even knowing it. As you're talking, you know how I do this. As people talk, I think of ideas. I think of things they can do. I want everyone to think of when they're talking about money, try not to do emotional gymnastics in your head about it.
Yes.
I just feel like every time it's money involved, whether it's a mistake that happened on the job, the client questioning something, the designer feeling self-conscious that they've charged what they've charged. I don't know why, because you deserve to be paid professionally as the profession you are, right? For what people are hiring you for. I speak to designer after designer, and so do you every day. And when you say, how much money did you make in 2025? It's like, not so much, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, then why are you working, right? Why are you working so hard? All right, it's a passion. Is it a passionate hobby, or do you want to actually make 100,000, 200,000, or more? Right? It's possible when you do it right, and you do it as a business owner, not as a side hobby, right? So it's hard. The first step is understanding your service models and having contracts that match your service models, right? This way you understand what you're selling and what the process is, what you're committing to, right? So tell everybody how they can get access to our contracts, which were written in conjunction by you and I in the real world, and then reviewed and added to legal jargon by David Adler, our attorney that helps us with all these products.
Yes, I want to talk about something you said first, because I think this is very important. Our contracts are a paid product. We have validated them with an attorney. You are going to find lots of free contracts out there.
Yes.
Please be careful. This is not about come buy our thing, even though our thing is great and you should buy it. But truly, a solid contract protects you. It brings clarity. It sets expectations for you and your client. And without that, or with a weak contract or with a half-baked contract, you might be opening yourself up to some incredible, dangerous liability. So we have a fantastic contract templates bundle. It includes designer for a day, designer on call, full service design. I feel like there's one I'm missing. We do have new builds, new construction. And we do have a change order template coming very soon, because this is the kind of document, it's still a contract. You need to say, here's what we're going to do for how much money in what time frame. It's like a little mini contract. So if you are working without a contract, or if you have not had an attorney review your contract, please check out our bundle. They are available individually. So if you're not offering X, Y, or Z service, they are a la carte, but the bundle is a phenomenal value. I have hired attorneys myself to do contracts in the past, and you are looking at thousands of dollars. This is nowhere near that. So don't be.
I know it's kind of funny when people go that much money, but I get it. You're new in business and you want contracts and you're trying to get for free, but please be careful that they are attorney reviewed and they match your business model. That's the key. Don't just buy contracts and use them and don't even read them. I've seen that happen. Now, one of our viewers is watching Farah, and she said, I did come in a situation where I was asked to do something that was not part of the contract. And I very calmly let her know, sure, I can do that, but I will have to see how many hours it will take me. Oh, the whole thing does show up. I didn't think it would show up fully. So she said, I will invoice you for the extra time to add this to the project while we're still working on it. And she understood and happily agreed and paid. No issues.
No
It's
issues.
amazing.
I love that.
Right. It's paper confidence when you have a solid contract and when you understand your business model and when you understand it's okay for you to get paid for what you do for somebody else. It's that simple. So if they're asking you for extra, it will charge them extra, and just ask them to please process it. So Angela said, I bought your bundle contracts years ago, and are they still the same? Anybody who bought our contracts in the past got an email a year ago to told you that we have updated the contracts and to please access them again with the upgrade. So you should have gotten that, Angela. If you did not and you're unsure, please email info@profitinsiderscoaching.com. That's our new email with our new website, and they will provide you with the details you need to access the new contracts if you don't have access already. And Farah also wanted to share one other thing. Lesley, let's bring that up.
Put this on the screen because it is lovely. Oh, and there it goes.
And ladies, I have something to share with you. I raised my consultation price and booked 2 consultations as soon as February began. So I thought I'd let you know, dancing here with joy. Oh my God, congratulations, Farah. Farah has been in our essentials and learning from all the lessons that we provide for a while. And I think you're not in essentials right now, but you were for over a year. And I'm glad it's helped you with your business, right? Our essentials is one of our programs that has all our lessons. So congratulations, Farah. That's
wonderful.
And steady wins the race. Learn, implement, learn, implement. So, all right, Lesley, did we say everything we need to say today?
I sure hope so. I will recap it quickly about contracts, scope creep, establish clear boundaries and written scope before the project begins. Respond positively when there's an additional request with something like, yes, and here's the added cost and timeline change. And 3, rely on your contract as that calm, neutral backup that sets the foundation for how you run your business.
Exactly. So everybody go have a great Thursday. If you don't like your contracts, don't understand your contracts do not match what you're currently doing, please go take a look at our contracts bundle. They are great contracts. Thousands of designers are using them for years, and we keep them updated regularly with our lawyer, David Adler. So they are a great value if you have a need for them. All right. I will talk to you soon. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.